Hey there guys, 2022 is almost here, and this will be the last video I make on this channel until next year, which is only like 7.5 hours away. So I need to hurry up and edit this video. Now let's talk about my top 10 most anticipated upcoming movies of 2022. And real quick, this list isn't in any particular order. I'm just going through every month of the year until we get to next year. There's 50 other movies I could have put on this list, but people like top 10s, I like top 10s, and it just makes life easier. So I'll shut up now, let's talk about some movies. Let's just skip January and February and dive into the really good stuff. It's my #1 most anticipated movie of 2022. Oddly enough, starting off the list, it's The Batman. I am vengeance. I am night. I am the guy from Twilight. When it comes to Robert Pattinson playing Batman, who would have ever thought that was a good idea 5 years ago? But going into this movie, after the third trailer just came out last week, I don't know how people aren't sold on this by now. This looks like the tone, the atmosphere, the vibe, something I've always wanted to see in a Batman film, where it's that film noir detective vibe meets Seven and Zodiac with Batman in it. And with all those things said, here, take my money please, I need this movie now. Coming out in April, it's The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers, who directed The Lighthouse, which was one of my favorite movies of 2019. And once again, we have Willem Dafoe coming back as a Viking in a time period movie. Do I need to say more? Maybe I do. I'm a huge fan of epic time period films. I just love how immersive they can get, and they just take you out of reality and put you somewhere else. And where else do I want to be? Well, I want to be hanging out with Willem Dafoe on a Viking ship somewhere. So yes, please. I can't wait to check it out. Coming out in May, it's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And the thing that gets me most excited about this is it's directed by Sam Raimi, and I'm hoping he brings a new creative element to the Marvel universe, something that separates this movie from other previous Marvel films and makes it look a little bit different. Coming off the success of Spider-Man No Way Home, I've heard some rumors and speculation that they're actually going back and adding some more scenes into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of throwback scenes to other dimensions, other characters, other multiverses. So that could be really interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to it. I feel the need to include Top Gun Maverick in my most anticipated movies of 2022, which is also coming out in May. And the unfortunate thing about this film is, over the last 2 years I've made videos like this, I've included it on the list. And it's been delayed and delayed again. And hopefully this May we get to see Tom Cruise flying around in a fighter jet once again. And the thing that gets me most excited about this film is it's actually utilizing practical effects. And what do I mean by that? Well, Tom Cruise is in a fighter jet. They put a camera in there and they recorded it. And I like that. You are going to have Jurassic World Dominion in your top 10 most anticipated movies list? Yes, I am, and with all that said, when it comes to the few previous installments of Jurassic World films, I will just say I was disappointed. You know what? I'll keep it real with you. When it comes to Fallen Kingdom, I truly believe that was one of the worst sequels ever made. I don't know about you, but when I go into a Jurassic Park film, I don't want to see half the movie take place in a rich guy's basement. But with all that said, I'm really looking forward to this new movie because it looks like complete chaos and mayhem where the dinosaurs are roaming Earth, unchecked, no gates, no fences, and one of the best things about this film is the returning cast is coming back from the original Jurassic Park films. So now we have Ian Malcolm back in action, and I just really hope for many years, since I was a little kid, I had this weird dream of Jeff Goldblum riding a T-Rex. I know that's probably not going to happen in the movie. That sounds so stupid, but I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And very quickly, before we dive into the next movie, I first want to give a quick mention to the sponsor of this video, and then we'll keep talking about some more movies. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. For me, when it comes to learning new things that I'm truly interested in, I almost become addicted to the point where I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning just taking new classes on Skillshare. For example, there's so many classes about audio, video, filmmaking. And as a dude who makes YouTube videos, I try to make the best videos I possibly can, but I'm always trying to improve. One class I recently took was called DIY Cinematography, Make Your Video Look Like a Movie by Ryan Booth. because that's what I want to do. When I make vlog videos or YouTube videos, I want to make them look more cinematic. My goal in 2022 is to try to learn as many things as I possibly can relating to making YouTube videos, and one thing I want to learn more about is Photoshop. Now, I know how to use Photoshop pretty decently. I've been using it for 15 years, but there's still tons of stuff I don't know how to do. So yeah, I'm going to take some new classes on that to expand my creativity. And the best part is, the first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So you can start exploring your creativity today. The link to that is down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get back to the video. Next up and coming out in July is Thor: Love and Thunder. And the reason this makes my top 10 is because ever since Thor Ragnarok came out, I have found more enjoyment from that film every time I rewatch it over and over again. And I don't know about you, but every time I just want to eat some frozen pizza late at night and watch something a little bit lighthearted with an epic tone, but it's so enjoyable, I put on Thor Ragnarok. I've probably rewatched that movie 15 times in the last 2 years. One of my favorite things about these newer Thor films are they're directed by Taika Waititi, who feels like he was given creative freedom to allow characters to have banter back and forth with each other, and not everything feels so overly scripted. And by the way, you might have noticed my new Magical Mystical t-shirt, which was clearly inspired by Thor: Love and Thunder. It's sort of a parody. Next up and coming out in September is Mission Impossible 7. It's crazy. We have 7 Mission Impossible movies. Who would have ever thought? But then again, we have like 27 Fast and Furious movies, so... In all seriousness, when it comes to these newer Mission Impossible films, I'm blown away every time because this is how action should be shot and filmed. Not everything needs to be done in front of a green screen. It feels so disingenuous nowadays with most films. But when it comes to this franchise, you truly feel like there's an element of danger happening because Tom Cruise is essentially putting himself in the face of danger every time. I don't know how the guy's still alive, but with all that said, let's go to the next movie. Get your web shooters ready because in October we have Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse Part 1. If you saw Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse a few years ago, I don't know how you couldn't be looking forward to this. I can't wait to check it out, so let's just go to the next one. Next up and coming out in November is the Flash movie, and the thing that gets me most excited about this film, well, it's definitely not the writer of the film, who is the writer who wrote the screenplay to Birds of Prey. And with all that said, I still hope the movie is good, but the thing that gets me most excited about this film is they're opening up the Batman multiverse and bringing back Michael Keaton. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. The fact that Michael Keaton is returning as Batman once again, that's something I never thought we would see ever. And since I was a small kid watching the original Batman 1989 on VHS over and over again until it snapped and broke in our VCR player, I've just been a huge fan of Michael Keaton as Batman, and the fact that he's coming back is like a childhood dream coming true. So that's what's most exciting about this movie for me. And now my final movie on my list is Avatar 2. And hear me out just for 1 second. It seems like the popular thing to do nowadays is crap on the first Avatar film, and I understand those complaints. Is it the most original screenplay of all time? Absolutely not. Is it sort of like Fern Gully meets Dances with Wolves? Absolutely. But let's be honest, you know you still enjoyed it back in 2009 when you watched it with those 3D glasses on and you were really immersed into Pandora with those 9-foot-tall blue aliens making love under the Tree of Life. Or at least I was. Now with all that said, is this sequel nearly a decade too late? Yeah, it could be. And are we getting 4 other Avatar films? Yes, we are. Why? I'm not quite sure, but hopefully they are good. And if any other director was attached to these films besides James Cameron, I probably wouldn't have much faith in them going forward. But keep in mind, this is James Cameron. This is the man who brought you True Lies, Terminator, The Abyss, and Aliens. And I have one more thing to say in defense of the first Avatar film. Originally, when this came out in 2009, I was an usher at a movie theater. And I remember walking into multiple auditoriums and seeing audiences glued to the screen when this movie was playing. Why am I defending Avatar so much? Maybe it's just something about blue aliens that truly fascinate me, but either way, guys, those are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022. Now here's my question for you, and let me know down below. What is your number 1 most anticipated movie coming out in 2022? Let me know that down below. Before I go, look out for a top 10 best and top 10 worst movies of 2021 coming out this week. Yeah, sometime this week. As always, guys, make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time, and I'll see you guys next year, which is tomorrow.